Hi, welcome back to Sermons by Dale Dudgeon. I hope you're having a good day. In times like these, a lot of people wonder, how can anything good come out of these bad circumstances? The Bible promises us that God can work good even out of the worst of circumstances. We look at the life of Joseph. He was sold into slavery by his brothers. He went through a lot of difficulty in the land of Egypt. But in the end, Joseph was able to use his position to save people from a great famine. He told his brothers in the book of Genesis, in the 50th chapter and 20th verse, he said, "But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive." God was able to use Joseph's bad circumstances to save people, including his own family, from a great famine. In the New Testament, we're told in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose." God can work all things for good, even the worst of circumstances. I'd like to tell you a story about a man named Horatio. Horatio lived in the late 1800s. And he was a lawyer, and he was a wealthy man, and he was also a good Christian and a tremendous student of the Bible. Well, in 1871, tragedy struck Horatio and his family. First, they lost their 4-year-old son, and later that year, the Great Chicago Fire happened, and owning a lot of real estate, this wiped out Horatio financially. Well, in a way to treat his wife and his 4 remaining children, his 4 daughters, he thought he would set them on a trip to Europe. And he planned on joining them later on. He remained behind for a while so that he could work out a business after the loss of the Great Chicago Fire, and he planned to join them later on. Well, tragedy struck while his wife and daughters were at sea. Another ship struck the ship they were sailing on, and their ship sank rather quickly. After that, he got a telegram from his wife that said, "Saved alone. What shall I do?" Well, Horatio quickly boarded a ship and went to meet his wife. And on the way, he asked the ship's captain to point out the location over which was the wreckage of the ship that his daughters had been on. And when they got to that spot on their journey, the ship's captain pointed out that this was the place where their ship went down. And in that spot, Horatio set pen to paper and he wrote these words: "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Though Satan should buffet, though trials should come, let this blessed assurance control, that Christ hath regarded my helpless estate, and hath shed his own blood for my soul. My sin, oh the bliss of this glorious thought, my sin, not in part but the whole, is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, O my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight. The clouds be rolled back as a scroll. The trump shall resound. The Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul." In the worst of circumstances, Horatio Spafford penned what would become one of the greatest Christian hymns out of the most difficult and most heartbreaking circumstances. After that terrible shipwreck, his wife asked the question, will I ever know if God has a purpose in this? And as we look back over the years, we can see that this hymn has been a great blessing to many souls. As a matter of fact, today there's a very popular video on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, go to YouTube And if you're watching on YouTube, go up to the search bar and type in those words. It is well with my soul, and type in the word Nashville after that. It is well with my soul, Nashville. And the first site that it should direct you to is a group of Nashville singers, professional singers, who are all singing remotely together this great hymn. So even though more than 100 years have passed since this tragic incident, the words that Horatio Spafford penned back then are still blessing hearts and souls today as others go through difficult and troubling circumstances, to remind us that God can work good out of even the worst of circumstances. All things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purposes. I hope you check out that link, that website, and I hope that this has been a blessing to you, and may God bless you and yours until we can talk together again.